you. Hello, folks. Welcome to the select board meeting of whatever the day is.
November
How
14th.
about the 14th?
Can you go
I
to
got that.
full screen?
Oh,
Thanks.
All right, as usual, we'll start with our town clerk report, who's available from her busy week last week of elections.
yes. Yep. Just to talk a little bit about that, the November referendum, it went extremely well. We processed 482 ballots, so it was a very good turnout. I do want to say we had a really good crew of ballot clerks, and thank you to them. Everything went very well. We were out of here by 9 o'clock, and it was very seamless and fast. We do need to make a few adjustments to get ready for the next big election in November anyways. Municipal not so much, but we need to do some layout changes. A lot of people are still getting confused on which way to go after they vote. They kind of lose themselves and they tend to go to the entrance, which they can't do. There was a lot of that. And there was a couple comments actually, and I never realized it, that there are no curtains on the voting booths. So we need to kind of look at that, I guess.
There are curtains for our original ones
Okay.
in the back.
Okay.
They were made. Who made those? Actually, I think Leslie's mother might have made those.
Oh, great.
Because they had the old hard plastic almost ones, and
Okay.
you kill yourself getting in and out. But anyways, there are for those.
Okay.
You may check. I saw, on TV, a lot of other people voting, and they have those four station voting stands,
Yeah.
and there's no curtains or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
They aren't required.
Right.
We were gonna ask, yeah, we weren't sure if
Yeah.
they were, because I've never seen them here, I mean, with those, so, as far as I've been here, there wasn't any curtains.
Right,
For the new.
right. Yeah, yeah, no, they aren't required.
Okay.
It's kind of up to you, and if
Yeah.
people are complaining about it.
Yeah,
I remember when we took them off, the first year we didn't have them, that there were a couple of comments. They weren't really complaints, but
Yep.
anyways, it's up to you.
just something for us to look at, I guess.
Yep.
And we are gonna increase the signage, we had a couple comments, some people got upset on different issues, and the volume kind of went a little too high. We gotta do a better job of keeping people quiet as people are voting, so, just a couple things to do for next time.
Good.
I did talk to Chris Sanborn tonight, he's been sick, he can come tomorrow, next Tuesday during your workshop time, if that's what you guys wanna still do.
With
far
his
as I know.
with his application.
Chris Sanborn, the IT.
Oh, so, never mind,
The
different,
IT
I'm
tech.
sorry, never mind, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
So,
do it.
do you prefer workshop time or meeting time, or
I think
does it matter?
workshops.
Workshop time if you
Okay.
can, yeah, that would be great.
Alright. Just the follow-up issues again, like I said, I'm just gonna keep a, kind of a to-do list. Was a little disappointed, on Mark's section Thursday. He wasn't out until he received a phone call. I just hope we don't get there like we did last year. Is there anything going on with plowing oversight, or he wasn't out before the buses and the commuters, let's put it that way, it
Yeah.
was slippery.
Yeah. I don't know. Where do we go with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna call about a couple things and run through that with him again. Not that that's gonna solve any of that problem, but maybe we need to have him come in.
I guess, but we need a
We
plan,
need a
other than
plan.
listen to what he says and say, okay,
Well, I
and
still
then he
would
goes
like
out
to
the
get
door.
Myron- I would like to get Myron here just to talk to him about, get some ideas from him on the best way to handle this, and what he thinks should be done.
This is an administrative issue.
I know, but he can be part of the operation, he can be part of
Huh?
the procedure.
Okay, yep. Yep.
I know he doesn't wanna notify people, at least he said he has, when they should be out,
Right.
but maybe he'd be agreeable to reviewing the plowing and when people started, and just to give us a general overview of what happened.
I believe he agreed to look at things after they've been
Well,
done.
so I'd
Yeah.
like to get him in here to,
Okay.
yeah,
I-
when he gets back from wherever he's at. And I'd like to get Pendexter mowed if he's, see if that's in his plans.
Chances are I probably won't remember that.
Who won't?
Got it?
So,
Okay. Guess that's about it. I did speak with, Eric Frey a little bit during the election. Is there any plan on him getting involved since he's got most of the training now? He's got a budget. Is he gonna start helping Jesse, or is that up to Jesse Winters?
I think it's more a combination of Jesse and us.
Yeah, I think we need to sit down either with Jesse or with both of them.
Both of them probably
And
be
figure
better.
out how we're gonna handle that, how they're gonna handle it
Because we
too.
need more administrative support out of Jesse.
Yep,
So if it means that his assistant does a few simple calls that Jesse can review, and then Jesse has time to do the paperwork.
In all fairness to Eric too, I mean, he was kind of, the musician, and he got the trainings, and now he
Right.
just kind of sits, so it's not really fair to him, I don't feel.
yep, I agree.
But that's, I guess, all I got. That's new.
So you haven't had a chance to talk to Jesse then, Dave, on?
We have not had a chance to get together. We've talked, we know where we're going, we just have not had a chance.
Is it a good place?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
get things done.
I mean, we have, the checks have been cut, right, basically?
Well, yeah, but some of them are probably outdated.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's not like we have money that we have to pay out. The money's been in effect paid out or
No.
accounted
No.
for.
It hasn't been cashed.
I know, but it's been
No.
accounted for.
Let's, yeah,
Been
we have,
taken out of the checkbook, right?
no.
No,
They've
because it
never been
hasn't come,
cashed.
okay.
Well, the checks have been written up. I
Right, we
think
can
that's
get a
the
yeah.
total,
point
but
that is,
we'll have to
yeah, yeah.
issue
So it's not
that.
like we're,
No, it's not a money issue.
yeah,
No, it's a, yeah.
okay.
Tax collection looks like it's going pretty well.
Yes.
That's great. All right, anything here? No.
We haven't done anything on looking at the EMA director. We should probably
Yeah, we need to do something.
schedule that, either keep who we have or change to somebody else, obviously.
Okay.
And cemetery funds, we need to do that too, see what we're gonna work, how we're gonna handle that for next springtime, probably be good. And I know you're working on the reserve
As
account.
soon as I'm just getting caught up from after the election, so
Yep.
once things calm down again.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you. Have you thought anything about, probably haven't, considering it just came in last week, about personal property tax? How we're gonna handle that, or any thoughts on that?
Or what do you mean about handling it?
Well, the state says we'll have to do it next year.
We're billing people for personal property.
We are.
Yeah, for what we know about,
Oh,
but
okay.
we
Well,
need,
there's a big gap there, though.
yeah, we need to do an inventory. We as assessors, not the town clerk. That's an assessor's job.
Okay.
I think we're talking mostly
There's a form
businesses.
that we used to send out to businesses.
The businesses,
Yeah,
okay.
we should do that.
Oh, I thought we did that. For businesses.
I don't think we've done that in,
13
I'm
years.
guessing 10 years, okay, 13 years.
Okay.
Some of the values I feel are really outdated.
Yeah.
Different things, and some probably don't exist
Right,
anymore.
right.
All right.
So that's our side of it, that's the front end. Then the
Yeah.
back end is collection.
How we collect these.
Yeah. Now, personal property taxes cannot be liened.
Right.
You have to go to court if people will not pay up on dunning letters. So, yeah.
All right, so that's first by next year, we have to come up with a plan.
Yep. So for April 1st, we should have a letter ready.
Appropriate date.
Well, that's, well, That's because that's the tax day in
Yeah.
Maine. We should have a letter ready to go out
To
to businesses.
businesses, absolutely, but people too, I mean, you have to do everybody.
No, you don't. Yeah, have you read the law? You need to take a look at the law.
I thought it said personal property.
Well, it's called personal property. It's business property, though.
It says, does it say business?
I believe it does, yes.
Yep.
All right, well, we need
Okay,
to.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, good, all right. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
Yep.
All right,
Or maybe it's worse.
thank you. As usual, the next 4 items are approving last week's notes, and approving this week's agenda, processing the bills and paying the bills.
Are you done with the blue folder?
Am I done with the who?
The blue folder?
Oh, the blue folder. Just sign the bills. We haven't had we did have our police report. I don't think we've got our statewide police report yet, though. Animal control, code enforcement owes us his last month's, October's numbers. Planning board next meeting is November 15th. It seems to be fairly close. We had asked our town attorneys some questions on the case that was recently decided by the Superior Court, Moreau versus Milligan. And we're trying to see how this affects the town. Comprehensive Committee, the next meeting is, I believe, the 28th of November. Secaucus Road solar update. They met with 2 representatives from Soltage concerning their plans, the state's plans, and CMP's plans. It looks like there's a possibility that we have a beginning of a solar installation towards the end of next year. We did receive a check for the leasing of our land for $26,000. And Debbie will be reviewing with them just to make sure that we've received, we think there's some more money that may be owed the town, but we'll be checking into that. And we can give you an update next week on that. The Stanley Building was sold at public auction last Friday. Friday?
Yep.
And Northern Realty Trust, I believe it is, has Equity North Realty Trust has in effect purchased the building and is in the process, or has already been sold to the Mounces of the Mill. Teaser Commons LLC. So that was probably one of the last hurdles from them to start working on the bill and fixing up the Stanley Building. Mark sent a note saying, can't wait to get a new paint job done, so might be kind of late in the year, but maybe they can get the building painted so it'll look respectable. winter road maintenance concerns. We'll be talking to Meyer about making sure that the appropriate signs are put up on both roads. I know we have the signs because we've closed the roads in the past. Rescue gave us their numbers for the month of October, 69 calls, and our rescue people handled 68 of them. So that's shows that in effect we're being staffed properly. Corners 26, Hiram 18, Parsonsfield 16, and Porter had 9 calls. So it looks like over the past year, rescue has really, shall we say, cleaned up their act and done an outstanding job.
Do you want to take a quick look at those? We missed those, and that way
Oh, sure.
I can pass the folder on. What the heck did I pick up? Oh, well.
What?
There's some, oh, I thought I had another paper here, but I guess not. That's probably it. I'm all set. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. So we can, we have 2 or 3 things to discuss with Meyer that come in for a workshop next week, that would be great.
The, did you set a time to meet with Chris? for
No,
next-
Danielle has to verify
I was
time.
gonna email him, he's
Oh.
gonna let me, he's gonna check out a couple things.
Okay, let me know, then I can schedule something with Meyer
Yeah.
next week. Okay, thanks.
We have a pole permit, and another one, I guess they're starting to put the poles in for the winter time. Providence Lake Road, Smith Road. Well, Central Maine Power is extending an invitation for us to tour their facilities. Certainly is interesting. Maybe we can ask them about solar power.
There you go. It's Augusta.
November 30th, that's, I don't even know when this is, oh, December 5th. So we'll be discussing that a little bit. Updates. Jen, you got anything? Aside, you try to talk to Mr. Fisher?
Yes, is he gonna be invited to our meeting next Tuesday also? Should we?
Okay. Well, why don't we base that upon, you said you were gonna call him
Yep.
with a couple of things that
Right,
you
and
were
email
concerned
also,
about.
yes.
And depending on what he says, we can invite him
Okay,
or not to the meeting.
okay.
Again, I would like to have him in front of us, but
I
we
would
need a
too.
plan
Right.
other than listening to what he says and
Okay.
saying, well, yeah, you gotta do better, and then he goes away.
Well, we have the week to work out a plan.
Yep,
Okay,
So that, we can discuss that.
sure.
yep, good.
And I've had a couple of people ask, I don't, when do the checks go out, Debbie, for the groups, like Smooth Feather and Grateful Undead?
I'll probably be doing it like in the middle of December.
Middle of December.
Yeah, I do them all at once.
Okay,
Okay.
for year end.
I think that's,
That's a good thing.
yeah, I think that's all I got for right now.
Nothing in your extensive notebook?
Just more on the litigation case eventually, so. we'll-
Dave?
Did we determine then that, Bill Tovey Bill, I don't know if I have that right, is gonna use more than just salt on the roads? He's got,
I can ask,
He brought
that
some
can be part of
sand
the
in?
questions I ask him. We know there's
Okay.
sand in there, but we've heard that he's just using salt
Well,
only.
there's an appropriate mixture of sand and salt.
I understand that,
Well,
but
we-
where did those
Where did
words
the
come
salt
from?
only come
Meyer,
from?
and if you meet with Meyer
Okay.
next Tuesday, then he'd be the person to talk to.
Okay, all right. But that's,
Okay.
you should ask him though.
That goes in my notebook, Ed.
Yeah. Oh, the dishwasher. Where are we on
I
the dishwasher?
have not heard from Bob Burns.
Err.
There, huh?
Okay.
Okay. Thank God we don't have a cafe this month, so.
Yes.
Mm.
And
And I'll call him and find out.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if he had been here, he would have let me know,
Yeah.
so maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think, I mean, we don't really have a policy on when people come into the building, but if somebody like Bob comes into the building, he should check in.
Yes,
Yeah, he
Right.
shouldn't just come in and,
right.
Do his thing and leave.
yeah, yeah,
I think Keith did the same thing, kind of came in and.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew he was here, because we were here, so.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, our furnace quit, I think it was just last year one time. And I had been out in the boiler room and the door was unlocked and they came and serviced it and left and I had no idea.
Okay.
And I had turned our pumps off, so we weren't getting
So
any heat still.
You were cold.
What the heck's going on?
Yep.
So anyways.
Okay.
And then I'm waiting for a reply from Trio on whether Windows 11 is acceptable now. They initially, when Windows 11 came out, they said don't convert. But I haven't seen anything that it is. If it is, then I've got a computer that I'll buy for Renee's office. If not, then I may still buy the same one and pay, because they used to come with a downgrade, but that downgrade has kind of gone away because Microsoft doesn't want you to downgrade. So,
Okay, I didn't know if we were waiting for Chris Sanborn. There was a question
Nope.
of.
nope.
Okay, okay.
We said
Go
David
ahead.
would do the hard work.
Okay,
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do it at the same time if we hire Chris.
right. And
Okay.
Debbie, she'll get a new computer too?
Yeah,
Right.
well,
The
Debbie
second one.
has a new computer next door. I've been a little leery about putting it in, but,
I'm fine at the moment.
because she's got a lot of stuff that
Okay.
she uses that is not standard.
Okay.
So,
You need a second monitor,
Not
Deb.
stand.
You do need a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
You need two
Yeah.
monitors, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll do that. That's
Or
on
you
the
can put
same
that
list.
new one in and just
Yep,
use it.
that's on the
Your
same
second.
list.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
All right. We have just to remind everyone, we have our CPR class set for November 16th, this Thursday, 1 o'clock. So come in and learn how to save a life.
It's a good
Well,
thing.
It's not just open, right?
No,
Well,
no,
but
no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
People are scheduled, the
Yeah, okay.
office
Yes,
people.
yeah, yeah.
It'd be
Okay,
interesting if we could somehow get there. No, not right now, but it'd be nice to be able to offer things like that to people in the town that were interested.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well, if I can
Somehow
get,
we could work something out.
maybe I can get my certification back in.
$30 a person.
Well, I know, but we can have our own trainer too. I
Right.
mean, that could, Jen's probably qualified to train.
Well, I was.
Okay,
Train the trainer.
train the trainer.
Right.
yeah.
All right, I think that's about it. Cliff, you've been very patient.
Well, it's good to hear of the concerns, and particularly winter roads and road maintenance is important. And again, I would have to say that we
Do you want to sign
personally
it?
reached out to road
You guys-
commissioner.
Okay.
Yep, speak up a little bit.
I personally reached out to our road commissioner, Lynn, particularly, to have them do a little more work on our road since it was carved out last winter. And we had a little bit of stuff drop, but the big boulders, big rocks that are sticking up are still there. And I think, the road is not crowned. And some of the smaller dirt roads have been crowned. We used to have the road grader come down our road almost every year. And I can understand cutting back a little, but he's really cut back a lot on our road. And I would like to see our road maintained a little better, particularly because I have people that come down. And it's still an access road for hunters and fishermen going up the mountain and stuff, so. We left messages, and he never followed up.
All right, that's something we certainly can ask him next.
Yeah.
The plan, as you heard, getting him in here next week, so.
Yeah, that would be great. if
You'll have a
somebody
full
could-
agenda.
and we'd see if, I don't know if you want us to come in, Lynn probably would be the better person. I think, he responds a little nicer to women. Let's put it that way. That's about it. I wish us the best of luck waiting for CMP, but I am not very optimistic. Their plan doesn't include, unless we want to pay much, much higher electric bills. And unfortunately, the governor is sitting with them. I'd like to be optimistic, but it doesn't look good. I've done a lot of reading and research, and obviously I've testified, and I will continue to, but it doesn't look good. I think they're gonna keep us where we are. They're gonna say, okay, everybody pay another $50 a month, and we can upgrade your substation, you know. But we'll see what happens. Time will tell. Nobody knows.
Yep.
I think the governor shot herself in the leg. She's trying to reach a certain level of climate, you know, readiness, and by siding with CMP, I don't think you can get there. At least.
Okay, let's not get political
Yeah, I
about it,
understand.
okay?
I
Thank
understand.
you.
Anyway, my feeling is that, let's be hopeful.
Yep.
Harvey, you're just as patient.
Yeah, keep an eye on the sand and salt shed. Everything seems to be there, but we'll see how it goes for the winter. That's all we can do. I'm really,
But the new vendor was out
yeah, he's
Yes.
been there.
doing very well, I
Yep.
understand.
Yep.
I was a little bit concerned about the use of just salt on the road. I know Jeff would be concerned about it.
All right, folks,
Have a good rest of your week.
Yep.
I think that's it. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Take care, thank you very much.
But